I really hate to do this, but I need to share with everybody the experience I just had with Verizon.
So I'm going to say, without being rude, because I've had issues with Verizon, they don't care. Corporate doesn't give a shit. Not trying to be rude at all, but I want to share my experience. So we bought phones from Verizon when we were living in Pennsylvania. And we got the brand new iPhones at the time. I think it was like the 14, and we ended up moving back to my fiance's hometown area in Ohio. So when we got there, we had no issues with service whatsoever. We had no problems. The service was good. We even got the home internet, the one that runs off cell towers. And we said, no Xfinity, no Spectrum, none of that. We're going to do their home internet. So I got their home internet. Once I got there, it was a discount because I already had, service and everything. I was super happy. We bundled everything into one. Super happy. So at the time, there was also the whole thing for the free Xbox, that you got an Xbox Series X. And, once you made your order and everything, you could go in, and once you had the internet for like so many days, you could request to get the Xbox. So it was probably like a month after we were there, we started realizing our data didn't work. Our home internet wasn't working. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, I have kids that have to use the internet for schoolwork. So I called them, told them that the data wasn't working on our phones, the data wasn't working for the home internet. They troubleshot everything. They resent the signal to our phones. We powered them off and back on. Occasionally, the data would start working again. Home internet, still not working, issues. So I called, talked to tech support. I made multiple attempts to call this company, spent hours on the phone with them looking at the towers to move the home internet into this window instead or that window instead. Hours. I mean, hours upon hours talking to them. I get so frustrated because they credited our bill a little bit, but we still had problems. Like, we still had issues with the internet. The data would just go out on our phones and on our home internet. Like, it was a huge problem. I called again multiple times and called and called and called. Talked to somebody in tech support again, and they said that they wanted to send us a extender, a service extender. He promises, oh, this is going to work. We're going to send you this extender. This is going to work. I promise that this will get your service back up and running. So it had been a couple days, didn't get the extender, call back in. They send another home internet hub. They say, oh, maybe it's the home internet hub. So they send me another home internet hub. We hooked that up, get the extender, hook it up. It's not working. I'm like, what the heck? So we call again, and I speak to a manager in tech support. And he's like, what the heck? He's like, if your data isn't working, the extender's not going to work because it can't work off of mobile internet, mobile home internet that goes off of the cell towers. It's not going to work because it has to be internet like Xfinity or Spectrum, or it has to be one of those where you screw the little modem thing into the back, the little coax cable or whatever, because it can't work on home internet. He said that it can't use cell towers. It has to be hardwired. So that didn't solve my problem either. So I got mad. I got extremely mad. I went on the app Nextdoor, and I posted publicly to people who lived around us. And I said, has anybody else had issues with Verizon? I'm getting really upset. I explained my whole story. I told them what had happened. I told them about contacting Verizon, them not fixing it, them not giving a crap that, I was having all these issues. I just got into a contract with phones like less than 4 months before we moved. And I'm like stuck in this contract and don't have the money to pay my phones off. And a bunch of people start commenting. They say for years they've had issues with Verizon, and they have called multiple times. People have complained multiple times, said that they did not have data. I had to drive 35 minutes out of the area we lived in to even get data. People were complaining all over my post. Like, it blew up, and people were like, I'm so glad someone said something about this. Like, we've had so many issues. And somebody gets on and states that there was bald eagle nests, supposedly, on the cell towers. And because it was an endangered bird, they could not remove them from the cell towers. So that's why it was messing up the signal. Because their nests are so big, apparently. And I'm like, okay, well, put another damn tower up. Like, you have tons of people complaining, tons of people spending money on Verizon. Like, you can't have, like, national or, like, state-funded, like, people who deal with those birds come out and move them. Like, there's gotta be something. That's bullshit. So, I am in this thing with Verizon for, like, weeks. Finally, I contact the Better Business Bureau, and I'm like, hey, look, I'm trying to cancel my service because I can't pay for this. I'm not going to pay for service. I'm not going to pay for a phone service that isn't working right. That's not right. If you read their contract, it says that they have to provide adequate working phone service. And if they don't, the consumer has a right to cancel, blah, blah, blah. So they get a hold of Verizon. They tell them my complaint. Verizon comes back with a load of bullshit. Ready for this? Oh, well, if you, do this, this, and this, then we can help you. And because you signed a contract and, you are in phone payments, you have to pay for everything. I said, I'm not paying for anything because you guys aren't giving me adequate service. And so I go back and forth. I sold my phones because, I couldn't use them. Verizon still had them locked because you have to, I think it was around the time that they had 90 days to unlock the phones. And they argued with me about unlocking my phones. It had been past 90 days. Companies got sued for keeping their phones locked. And then Verizon's just like, YOLO, hold my beer. So I sold my phones. And the lady had the audacity to say, well, you didn't return the phones to us. I'm sorry, but it's been past the return period. And you guys never ask for phones back, so that's bullshit. So that was an excuse for her to look good to the Better Business Bureau, which, open your eyes, guys, and, realize Verizon's a scam. Hello? And so they made up all these excuses, said that they would credit me a little bit of money for, the trade-in that I sent them. They would give me, a little bit more money because I lost that phone. They'd, compensate, the value of what my trade-in was worth because I lost it when I sold the phone and blah, blah, blah. And so I called the Federal Communications Company. Or I emailed them, and I complained about Verizon. And I told them what the hell was going on because they control everything with the phone companies. Ready for this shit? Ready for this shit? They didn't care either. They flat out told me, oh, well, there's nothing we can really do about it because we control this, this, and this, and we step in when it deals with this. Excuse me? Hello? It deals with a company not providing frickin' service to a customer that pays almost $200 frickin' a month. And you're telling me that you don't deal with that. You don't handle that. You handle companies making sure their service works for customers. How do people start lawsuits against these companies? I need to know. Somebody tell me. Somebody tell me. Please bless me with how we can start a lawsuit and sue these assholes. Because I owe them $3,000 now because they wouldn't fix a service problem. And I would have never left Verizon if they would have fixed the damn problem. On top of that, I now have to pay them back for an Xbox that was supposed to be free because I didn't have my internet X amount of days that they want you to have it before it's considered free. So I got totally screwed and Verizon doesn't give a shit. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm sorry if I'm coming off rude. I'm frustrated about my own damn story. My own damn problem. $3,000 I owe this company because they're ignorant. Because they won't fix a freaking problem. That should be required. I think shit should be rewritten. That if there is problems with service, they are required to fix it. There's gotta be somebody that can fix shit. There's gotta be somebody that can, tell these companies, look, you're not providing adequate service. You're covering this. So, needless to say, Verizon don't care about you. You're a peon. Start a lawsuit. Get a petition going. Let's get that petition going. Let's get it signed about Verizon being ignorant, overcharging, not giving a shit about their customers, their customer service being horrible. I had a couple nasty customer service people too when I called about my problem. So let's get that petition going. And if anyone knows about how to get a lawsuit started, I want to know.